Good morning. It is Saturday, August 23rd. Welcome to the Daily Echo. As you can tell, I just got done doing some yard duty outside. I have my prison orange on from head to toe, so it's always nice to walk into the Ace Hardware and get all the looks I do. Today I was thinking about a topic, and that's why I ran in and did this before I showered up, because I wanted to keep it fresh on my mind. I remember listening to Hiram Smith, the founder and CEO of the past Franklin Quest, which went on to become Franklin Covey. And he talked about a speaking engagement that he had after the World Trade Center 9/11 incident. And him and Stephen Covey were called by Rudy Giuliani to go speak to many of the police officers and the firefighters and some of the family members that had been struck with this devastating loss, who had lost family members. And Hiram Smith says in the morning they got there, and a man had taken them on a tour of where the buildings actually stood, and he said you could still see as they were pulling steel out of these holes that the metal was still dripping. It was so hot. And the man had asked them how many computers they thought were in these buildings, and there were some guesses made, and the man said, we haven't found one computer yet. He said it is so hot in there, everything is being burned and just literally being melted. And Hiram Smith said it was an extremely sobering experience. And he went back hotel, and they had to change because they were real dusty. And he said, fortunately for him, Stephen Covey spoke first and gave a great speech. And then he said, I believe the Harlem's Girls Choir sang a song, and everybody was in tears. And he said he got up, and he was really overtaken with emotion because of what had happened. And he said these words to the people standing there. He told them a saying that many times we hear all of the time, and that is that pain is inevitable and misery is optional. And this sort of took this crowd by surprise. They'd just been dealing with just a devastating loss, many of them. And he went on to talk about, in the history of the world, how many incidents were so much worse than 9/11. He went back to talk about the genocides of different wars in World War I and II and Vietnam, and what Hitler did. And this incident, even though it was devastating, paled in comparison when we look at numbers. But he went on to give a fabulous speech, and he talked about this. And in each and every one of our lives, this is a common theme. If you haven't had pain in your life, you're going to. And all of us have experienced different forms of pain. We're going to lose loved ones. We're going to have missed opportunities. The stock market's going to crash. We're going to lose potentially everything that we have. Hopefully we don't. We're going to lose a job. We're going to have heartache. Pain is always going to be the consistent factor that will be there and show up in our lives at times. But the important part is that misery is always optional. It's what we do following the pain that occurs in our lives. And we look at those people that have inspired us, those people that have really changed the world to make it a better place. We look at the Mahatma Gandhis. We look at the Nelson Mandelas. Even Mother Teresa dealt with many difficulties with pain. Viktor Frankl, one of my heroes, who spent years in a Nazi concentration camp. Every one of those people suffered incredible pain. But we don't remember them so much for the pain that they suffered. We remember them because they decided that misery was not an option, that they were going to smile and they were going to lift and they were going to help and they were going to carry those around them. I've been around people that have been struck with cancer that's been terminal. And I've been around people that have been at two different aspects of their life, those that chose misery and those that chose to lift and inspire and motivate generations way beyond themselves, even in their last dying weeks. So as we go through this weekend, think about that in your own lives. And it's not what happens to us, it's how we respond and react to what happens to us. Remember that pain is always going to be there, but misery is always an option that we choose ourselves. So go out and have a terrific day, a super Saturday, and choose not to be miserable. Choose to lift and inspire others, sometimes in our greatest times of pain. As always, thanks for taking time to watch The Echo. Have a wonderful weekend. Spend it with your family. It's the best time you could spend it and the best people you could spend it with.